With us right now. Oh, by the way, I just want you to know there is breaking news. They had this on CNN, this graphic, for 10 minutes. Breaking news, defensive...
Breaking news now.
It says on CNN, defensive Trump slams media in extraordinary press conference. Let's turn now to Ann Coulter, who has written the book on Donald Trump. It's called In Trump We Trust. If you haven't gotten this book yet, get it. Big bestseller. Of course, AnnCoulter.com is her website. Ann Coulter, breaking news. It says, defensive Trump. Did you watch that? He didn't look defensive to me. He looked pretty confident.
Oh, my gosh, it was magnificent. If I didn't have to go out tonight, I would just watch it over and over and over again. Oh, my gosh. Your producer and I were just talking about this. Lauren, he ought to get rid of this press secretary. I mean, Sean Spicer, great guy, fabulous. But I wish he'd just do it himself once a week. I was in heaven watching this. If I were Secretary of the Interior, I'd get going on Mount Rushmore. He's magnificent.
Yeah, so Sean Spicer, nice guy, but
nobody can do it like Trump. And as usual, not only is he funny, not only does he bring the conversation back to important points, but he also, you learn stuff at his press conferences. He makes important points. One point, the title of a John McCain book, which I'm sure he didn't come up with himself, Nightingale Song. The idea behind that is that nightingales don't know how to sing until they hear the other nightingale sing. And that's what you feel like listening to Trump. He says things that are right in front of your face, but then by saying it, oh, yeah, that's right. And one of the things was when he repeatedly said, no, it's not just, when I do something wrong, I know there are going to be some bad stories, but when I do good things, there's either no story or somehow you turn it into a negative. And then he went on specifically about CNN, saying it's not just that it's all anti-Trump panelists on your shows. There's so much hatred. It is hatred for me. And he's right about that. It is. It's hate coming out of their mouth. He was also talking about, which was a really good point, how because the press has become, the modern-day John Birchers, they're suddenly, so terrified about Russia. He said, if I do anything anti-Russia, I'd get lots of great press. Yeah, that would make my popularity rating soar. But is that good for the country? Wouldn't it be great if we had good relationship with Russia here? What other fantastic points did he make?
Well, I'm just going to have to interrupt. We have more breaking news. CNN had this up for the last 5 minutes. Trump claims I'm not ranting and raving.
Breaking news now.
They did not.
I swear to God, they just took it down, but I don't have the sound on.
That's so funny because I was going to say that when you said what their first breaking news was, that he was defensive. I loved that he preempted them by saying, and he wasn't ranting and raving. He was hilarious. He's like a stand-up comedian, and he was saying, I'm not ranting and raving. I know you guys are going to report that. I'm going to read that on the front page of the paper tomorrow. Trump ranting and raving. I'm not ranting. Very clever of him to preempt them that way.
Well, I was also looking earlier today, Twitter, Facebook. All it read was, oh, my God, what a meltdown, epic meltdown. He's hysterical. He's gone unhinged. I think he's got to do these in prime time from now on so that everybody, at the end of the day when they're not working, can sit at home and watch this with their own eyes.
Well, if this lures more people to watch it than that, then it's worth it. I loved him talking about the fake news. It was interesting. He talked about what's going on with the country. I was very happy to see that, because it is fake news. They've been saying this rollout of his executive order on the temporary travel ban, it's chaos, it's chaos. He said it's not chaos, it's a well-oiled machine, and he used the word perfect. The rollout was perfect. The problem is the court, and he is 100% right. He is 100% right about that, pointing out, of course we can't, warn the Senate and the press and tell everyone, well, we're going to do this a month from now, because then all the terrorists pour in during that month. You have to do it fast with no warning. Another great point, which I suppose you could have heard on television, except they only allow anti-Trump people who hate hate the haters on. He's also he's announced a new moniker for CNN. In addition, he said it's not going to be fake news anymore. It's now going to be very fake news.
So I think, would you agree? Somebody, maybe it was him. Somebody said to him, "We got to bring back the guy that was out there on the campaign trail, the real you. Let's bring him back. Just go out there, forget everything, just be yourself."
Absolutely. I started tweeting that, I guess, after this insane Judge Ropart's ruling, and it is insane, and the Ninth Circuit is absolutely wrong. It's stunning that the Never Trump movement has moved into one branch of our government. These liberals talk about how, democracy is threatened with Donald Trump. No, it actually is threatened with Never Trumpers simply openly defying law and the Constitution in order to contravene this travel ban. That is 100% the plenary power of the president to exclude aliens in the public interest. The Supreme Court has said that in at least 50 decisions, and that they have no capacity to review a political decision. A country, we're a sovereign nation. We admit whomever we want to, and that is up to the president. That's the way Congress wrote the law. It's part of his job as controlling foreign policy. The idea that a court could rule this way, it is as if you have, the New York Times editors who have gone mad, salon editors, running the court system now. That was what the problem was. There's no problem with the rollout.
Hey, nothing against Sean Spicer, wonderful guy, but I think what we saw today tells you this Donald Trump is such an extraordinary figure, such an unique, amazing character. There's no way a normal bureaucrat can go out and represent him in a press conference. He could never capture what... I
agree, and I'm really glad Trump is doing a rally this weekend. We need to see more of him, and he can't do everything, I know, but, a once-a-week press conference would be fantastic.
Well, you got to be careful. You don't want to Alec Baldwin this thing where it's funny once and then you do it 14 weeks in a row and you exhaust it. Maybe a once-a-month primetime press conference.
Okay, fine. Sold.
Once every 2 weeks, we'll compromise.
Okay.
So, now what am I going to read tomorrow? I'm going to read, this was the most unhinged, hysterical meltdown any president's ever had in public.
It's just like, and I'm glad Trump can see this about himself, because it's just like their reaction to the magnificent Stephen Miller, who did all the Sunday shows, about the rollout, about the temporary Muslim ban, travel ban. And as I tweeted, the left has three responses when they can't answer you. They'd like to call you stupid, but if they absolutely can't call you stupid, they call you crazy, ugly, or they just exclaim, "I can't even," just gasping in horror. And you got all three of them with Miller. We've been scrolling through them all with Trump. You ought to be proud. It means they can't call you stupid. In the famous line of Ambrose Bierce, contempt is the emotion a prudent man has for an opponent who cannot be defeated.
And what's the other one? A racist is what a liberal calls you when they're losing the argument.
Right, that's Peter Brimelow's line. Absolutely right. The new modern definition of a racist is a conservative winning an argument with a liberal.
All right. Well, everybody get Ann Coulter's book, In Trump We Trust. That really is the Trump book, bestseller, New York Times bestseller list, and Trump We Trust. You go to AnnCoulter.com. What's today, Thursday? Your new column is out, right?
Yes, it is, and it's boffo. It's about the useless silence of the Lamb's Congress. What are they doing, Mark?
Right. Well, go to AnnCoulter.com. You can get the column there. Follow her on Twitter and Facebook. And Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark Simone.
All right, take care.